If you use content to grow your business, I hate to break it to you, but social media has fundamentally changed, and the things that worked in years past are no longer going to work in 2025. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 of the biggest ways that social media has changed and how you can adapt your content to take advantage of it and succeed even greater than ever before in 2025. So the first major way that social media has changed is the short form gold rush is over. So for a couple years, short form content was going crazy. You could post a reel, you could slap some cool Alex Hormozi style captions on it, and you would get tons of views. And the reason why is because Meta and YouTube were trying to compete with TikTok. So if you created content that kept people on their platforms as opposed to TikTok, they would shower you with views. But now that has really died down, and short form is still important, but we're not seeing those crazy view counts like we were for a while. What you need to do now is create a content ecosystem. So rather than just posting one kind of content, reels, you need to create reels and carousels and quote images and microblogs and tweets and stories, and most importantly, long form content on YouTube. Because the short form platforms are great for grabbing attention, but they're harder to actually get people to binge your past content and spend a lot of time with you. It's hard to really nurture those people because they're in swipe mode. The second that you lose their attention, boom, they're on to the next video. YouTube is the opposite. It's a lot harder to get in front of new people, but once you do, you can get them to watch your content for 10 minutes at a time, an hour at a time, and beyond. So you put those two platforms together, you grab attention with short form, you push them over to YouTube, and now if one of your reels is 60 seconds, it's going to take 60 days to get somebody to watch an hour of your content. But if you make 20-minute YouTube videos, one piece of content on Instagram pushes them over to YouTube, they watch one video, you link 2 more at the end, now you can get somebody over 1 hour of consumption time on the very first touch point. So that's why you have to put both together. You create a content ecosystem where you can grab attention on short form, push them over to YouTube, heat them up 10 times faster. That's how you nurture cold prospects into piping hot buyers in 2025. Now, the second way that social media has changed is going viral is a scam. It's crazy. I still see so many people who are obsessed with going viral. I see offers all the time of agencies that promise to get you over 1 million views in 90 days or will work for free until we do. But the thing is, just ask yourself, how many times have you watched a viral piece of content and then bought from that business? I know for me, the answer is 0. On the other hand, I have bought from businesses that get tiny view counts, but they do a great job of communicating how they can solve specific problems for me in my business. So the way I look at going viral, like my definition is creating one piece of content and showing that to as many sets of eyeballs as possible. I'd rather do the opposite. I'd rather find one set of eyeballs and show them as many pieces of my content as possible. So they spend hours with me getting indoctrinated into my messaging until they have no choice but to buy from me. And then once I do that once, I do it over and over and over again. So rather than getting 1 million views, I would rather have 100 people watch hours of my content until they have to buy from me. So don't chase going viral, focus on nurturing prospects into buyers. Now, the third way that social media has changed is super salesy ads either already don't work anymore, or at least very soon the window on those will shut entirely. I'm sure your feed is just like mine. I see so many ads that are like, hey, are you a coach or a consultant and you're trying to get over 10K a month? And that worked for a while. You know, the conventional wisdom is you have to call out your ideal prospect, let them know immediately if this piece of content is for them or not. But I really feel like that has been so overused that it's completely lost its impact. You know, maybe a year ago, I would see ads like that and they would offer getting over 10K. And then a little while later it was over 50K, and then it was 100K. Now I'm seeing offers like 200K in 30 days, or else, you know, we'll work for free until we get you there. And I think that some of these offers are becoming so outlandish that I don't believe them anymore. So these businesses, when their sales messaging purely boils down to how big of a promise they can make, they have to keep increasing the size of that offer until it's just no longer believable. The problem with ads like this is essentially these are USPs, unique selling propositions. What you sell, what solution you offer people, who it's for, and what sets it apart from everybody else. And my theory is why we see this so much is it's because of Alex Hormozi. In $100 million offers, he gives his value equation. It's the juicy outcome that you offer somebody and the perceived likelihood of achieving that outcome over how hard it is to attain that thing and how long it's going to take. So you want to increase the top of that equation. You want a bigger and bigger outcome, you know, a juicier result, and you want it to be as close to certain that they're going to achieve that as possible. And then the bottom of that equation, you want to decrease the amount of time that it's going to take to get there and decrease the amount of effort or pain or sacrifice it's going to take to achieve it. He calls that the value equation, but that's essentially your USP, your unique selling proposition. So everybody is just hammering the USP. And that's important. That is a critical piece of your sales messaging, but it is not the most important piece. I've worked for a few world-class copywriters, and any good copywriter will tell you that the most important piece of your sales messaging is the big idea. Now, I don't have time to get into everything about the big idea right now. It's a huge subject. But the way I think about the big idea is like the Jedi mind trick. In Star Wars, the Jedi go, "These are not the droids you're looking for." And the person thinks, "Oh, these are not the droids I'm looking for." That's what a big idea does. It's one simple idea that totally reorients their thinking. A great example is the keto diet. So the keto diet's big idea is you can literally reprogram your body to burn fat for fuel instead of carbs. So if you're overweight, the fat will literally just melt off of you in the process of just spending energy to fuel your normal everyday processes. That's the big idea behind keto. Now, one of my big ideas is I firmly believe we are leaving the information age because AI has commoditized information. You can ask ChatGPT a question, it will crawl the expanse of human knowledge and find you the answer in an instant. So we're leaving the information age and we're going into the age of ideas. Now what is most valuable is people who can come up with ideas that nobody else has thought of, who can see a vision for the future that nobody else has seen, and then convey that to their audience. And if you want to create content for your business that grabs attention and nurtures prospects into buyers, you have to get great at coming up with big ideas and conveying that to your audience. And it's really hard to convey big ideas in a 30-second ad. So while everybody else has these increasingly salacious USPs in their overly salesy ads, you need to use ads to grab attention, pull those people into your content web, like I said before, push them over to long form, where you can communicate those big ideas, get them indoctrinated into your way of seeing the world. And when that light bulb goes off and they go, "Oh, this could work for me. I think I need to work with this person," then at that point, you've already brought them to the 1-yard line. All you need to do is tip them over to make the sale. And that leads me to the fourth way that social media has fundamentally changed, and that is that sales funnels are broken. And not broken that they don't work anymore, but there was a period of time where they were almost like this silver bullet that everybody wanted to find the perfect funnel. But the problem with sales funnels, like I said in my previous point, is people are skeptical nowadays. We are in a trust recession. We've been bombarded with so many sales messages that instantly we have our defenses up. So rather than putting people into a sales funnel where the focus is sales, let's put them into a content funnel where the focus is ideas in building that relationship. One of the most important lessons that I've learned from working with some world-class copywriters is that you want the buying decision to be the buyer's decision. You don't want it to be your decision as the business. You don't want to force it on them to say, "Hey, you need to act right now. You need to hurry up and buy." You want to provide all of the messaging, the big ideas, indoctrinate them into your way of seeing the world. And when that light bulb goes off, they go, "You know what? I think I need to buy. This is an opportunity that I need to act on because I can get the big result that this person is offering for me." And the way that you convey that big idea is not with a high pressure sales funnel, it's with a content funnel. And obviously those two things can go together. The idea of having a sales page that has an upsell on the next page, that's never going to go away. But just the idea of driving cold traffic to one page where they know they're being sold, that is quickly diminishing in importance. You need to have that content funnel where you're pushing people over to your long form, and the long form is doing that indoctrination and that nurturing because they're binging your content. So that's it. Those are the 4 ways that social media has fundamentally changed and how you need to adapt your content in 2025 if you want to be successful. Now, I run a content agency. We help our clients create content ecosystems. It only takes them an hour a month. We get on a virtual filming session. We ask our clients questions. They just show up and talk. We pull the gold out of them, and then we turn that into all of their content, their short form, long form, carousels, quote images, microblogs, everything else. So if you'd like to learn about how we can be your virtual media team and do all of the work for you, I'll leave a link down below to my Instagram page. Shoot me a DM and I will tell you more about it. Now, once you've learned that you need a content ecosystem, the next question obviously is, what is it? How do I create one for myself, and what are the individual aspects of a content ecosystem? So I have another video that walks you through the 5 essential elements of a content ecosystem. I'll link it down below, or click right here and start watching.